A developing story this morning that made national headlines. Cousins charged with murder for killing 4 young men in Bucks County. After a week-long investigation, 20-year-old Cosmo DiNardo, seen there on the left, confessed to the killings to avoid the death penalty. In his confession, he told police he had help and another man was arrested. The murder mystery finally solved, hoping to bring closure for the victims' families. Chris O'Connell has the haunting chain of events.
The gut-wrenching 9 days began July 5th with the disappearance of 19-year-old Jimmy Patrick, reported missing to the Newtown Township Police. July 6th, the next day, is the last day anyone sees Dean Finicaro alive. July 7th, Mark Sturgis tells his dad he's going to meet his friend and co-worker Tom Mayo, the last day either of them are seen or heard from again. July 9th, Cosmo DiNardo is interviewed by Bucks County detectives and denies any involvement in the disappearances. The 10th, the investigation, including search teams with federal, state, and local authorities, focused their search on the vast Solbury Township DiNardo family farm. Cosmo DiNardo is then arrested on an unrelated gun charge. But less than 24 hours later, he's released from jail after his dad posts a $100,000 cash bond. On the 12th, DiNardo is rearrested. A day later, this time accused of stealing a car belonging to one of the victims. Bail now is set at $5 million cash. On July 13th, the confession. DiNardo admitting shooting and burying all 4 men in an exchange for a promise that prosecutors will not seek the death penalty. We also learn a second man is wanted for the murders. And late Friday, police arrested and charged DiNardo along with his 20-year-old cousin Sean Kratz in the Solbury slayings.
Well, the Bucks County District Attorney credits the deal he made with Cosmo DiNardo to avoid the death penalty for finding the body of the final victim. Here to help us break down all of this, local attorney Joseph Marrone. How are you this morning?
How you doing? Good.
I think a lot of people were surprised when that confession came on Thursday around 5:30. Were you shocked?
I was, because of the fact that from a standpoint of protecting himself and the attorneys mounting a defense, it was a little quick. They didn't have much evidence at that time. They didn't know anything about this case. All they knew that he had some connection to it. So for him to go and use this so-called bargaining chip to avoid the death penalty, I'm not so sure he would have gotten the death penalty given his mental illness, his history of his mental illness.
I was going to ask you about that. From the very beginning, we heard about that. I think schizophrenic is what we heard. Is that going to affect this investigation or the case or the trial going forward, if there is one?
Well, he's basically confessed. So now the question is, does he take the road of insanity defense? And he can mount it. It's a very difficult defense. He definitely has documented mental illness. The question is, can they prove that he didn't really understand the crimes he was committing? Very hard to do in the state. But ultimately, even if he's still found guilty of murder, then he still has a second phase, a death penalty phase, if he would have went that way. And chances are that they would have never given him the death penalty. That's why I don't understand why he was so quick to confess.
Okay. Tell me this. There's already some inconsistencies. He's implicated his cousin now, 20-year-old Sean Kratz, said he had help with these murders. Now it's he say, because the cousins are blaming each other on who shot 19-year-old Dean Finicaro. Does that matter since they're both implicated at this point?
Well, yes, because obviously Kratz is trying to create some kind of defense so that he can maybe avoid a life sentence. He's saying that he didn't have anything to do with the murders. He was obviously involved in this in some degree, but he's trying to protect himself. He's a very young man. He's only 20 years old, so he would try to mount the defense so he doesn't have to go to jail for the rest of his life. At this point, it's going to be very difficult because I think pretty much they both did themselves in. Actually, DiNardo's in a better position because he has the insanity issue. He has the health issues. Ultimately, at this point, I don't think they're going to go very far with it.
You and I were just talking about this. A lot of people are asking the parents their involvement. I think DiNardo admitted that he used his mother's gun in one of the murders, or maybe several of them, and then it's on the parents' property where he buried these bodies. What do you think happens with them at all, if anything?
I think there's been a thorough investigation as to the parents' involvement. Obviously, the parents are very, from what I understand, affluent people. They're very successful. The question is, did they have any knowledge of this behavior? Did they have any connection? Did they have anything to do whatsoever? And I very much doubt it from what I've seen, but they have gotten their own attorney, and I don't think at this point you're going to see the parents involved. I think they're cooperating. The interesting thing is that this gentleman, DiNardo, all of a sudden went on this killing spree in those 2 days. The question becomes, did he involve himself in any other murders in the past? And I'm sure the authorities are looking into that, because for somebody to all of a sudden just spring into a killing mode kind of makes you wonder if he's done this historically, since he's engaged. He was well known as a drug dealer in marijuana, and also he sold weapons. So, you know, we'll wait and see.
All right, that's what we'll have to do. Wait and see what happens next. Joseph, thank you so much.
Thank you.